Rap and Reason Podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins. All right, we're back with another episode of Rap and Reason Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins, man. What's going down?
What's good, bro? Episode 70, man. What you been up to?
Man, chilling, bro. Just prepping for the holiday, man. Christmas, New Year's Eve, we spend it in Philly, man. So we just trying to make, this holiday feel as wholesome, as festive as possible. You know what I mean? We don't have much family here, but we got our own family, bro. Like we're making this our permanent home, for the years to come. So we're gonna make the holidays that much more special, dog. So that's what I'm focusing on. And I'll be remiss not to mention, like, we got a lot of work we need to do, as well as finishing, really putting the full stamp on this book that's dropping in May of next year, bro. So like we're tuning it out, we're cranking it, the last little bits and pieces that we got to get done, refining it, and then from there, bro, it's ready to hit bookshelves at this point. This is like the final stretch.
Yeah, man, final stretch, bro. Like I could not agree more, man. Excited. If you have not pre-ordered Raps of Resistance, man, do so now. Available for pre-order everywhere books are sold. Barnes & Noble, Bloomsbury.com, Amazon, all of that good stuff, man. Make sure that you all are pre-ordering that book. Game changer in hip-hop literature, for sure.
For sure.
And yeah, man, have you done Christmas shopping?
No. So we gotta like hurry up and listen, man. I was waiting for this weekend. I was like, yo, I gotta get this done, this done, this done. I want to clear mind when I'm spending this recklessly, just to make people's faces smile on Christmas Day, bruh. So like, you know what I mean? Christmas was always one of those weird holidays for me, like growing up, because it's like, it's different, like growing up, not to get too deep, but it's just different growing up in a house, like in a family, in a community, right? Like where it's like, yo, you see your parents sacrifice like whatever, coins they have left of the year just to make you and your sisters, your brother like smile and shit and stuff like that. Ooh, almost good. But yeah, like you see that and it makes you like, as you get older, recognize the sacrifices that they made to make this day so special. And so you want to return the favor. And in doing
Absolutely.
so, you try your best to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of those weird holidays for me, bro. Like I'm not the pajama dude. Like I wasn't for a while, but my lady got me getting into Christmas and looking at it from a better perspective going forward. So that's the part.
Man, I could not agree more. My girl is Miss. She might as well be Mrs. Claus, bro. Like she all in, bro. It's all. I mean, the mistletoe, the tree, she loves Christmas, bro. So like she's gotten me more into it. I always liked Christmas. It was cool. The same thing, like you grow up watching your family struggle to get you stuff. So it's definitely a different dynamic. And this year, man, with the way the economy is, it's really weird to me. Yeah. So I made a conscious effort to shop with black brands. I can't shout them out now because then everybody gonna know what gifts I got them. But next podcast or the podcast after Christmas, I'll make sure that shout out some of the black-owned brands. I made a conscious effort to be like, let me shop with some black-owned brands for people's gifts, for the most part, for the things that I was able to do that with. So yeah, man, same here though, man. It's shout out to everybody who's going through it and going through the struggles right now, man. The economy is crazy, the job market is crazy. So please do not go broke trying to buy no Christmas gifts. You know what I mean? Like them kids is gonna be all right.
They'll be all right, man. They got y'all. Like that's the most important thing, especially with everything going on. So yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. We got a lot of things to get through today. Man, one including B Dot, journalist, gave his list of top rappers for 2025. We'll talk about our feelings on that. 21 Savage dropped the album. We'll review that. Ebro in the Morning Show is no longer a show. I recently got canceled from Hot 97. We'll talk about that. Breakfast Club and other podcasts are moving to Netflix.
Crazy.
We talk about that move.
Yeah.
And then we also do a brief review of we'll talk about some other albums that are coming out that have already come out as well. Big Crit, Nas, Game. We'll get through some of it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Let's start with this B Dot list, bro. So Can I list out? Let me list out the top 10 that my man B Dot has, right?
So let's talk. So let's tell the audience who B Dot is before we even get into
Okay,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
it's better for you. This is one of your colleagues and peers
Yeah,
in
so
your
B
industry.
Dot, really like a close associate, friend, colleague of Elliot Wilson, who I've always looked up to as a hip hop journalist, hip hop media figure, things of that nature. And so I would say B Dot is like his right hand man. He's someone who
Okay.
also has a prominent platform, voice, and credibility within hip hop. And him and Elliot used to operate or run Rap Radar. They did some of your,
Okay.
your favorite interviews with your favorite artists of the past, and B Dot still does interviews, I believe, as well on his own solo. So him compiling a list, obviously, we're paying attention us hip hop fans. So at the top of the list is Clips. Okay. And I'm gonna run through it real quick. Number two is Nas. Number three is Joey Badass. Number four is JID. Five is Wale. Six is Bodie James. Seven is Larry June. Eight is Two Chains. And then he closes out the top 10 with Ransom at number nine and Lloyd Banks at number 10. Tell me what you think about this list when you first saw this list right here.
Wrong.
Yeah.
um, as we know, hip hop is very subjective. So there are going to be artists who he has a preference for. And like I have a artist that I have a preference for, stylistically, sonically, all of that good stuff. But there are people who are missing from this list that I just think there's no debating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper should be on this list. Like, there's
100.
no way. Some of the best rapping this year was on Starline. You know what I mean? There's no way Chance the Rapper shouldn't be on the list. I also would say, and this is gonna sound like I have a crazy Chicago bias, but he did his list set on based on skill, songs, and features and presence.
Yeah.
To me, with that being the criteria, G Herbo has to be on this list.
He has to be on this list. I'm sorry. He does. He does,
He
bro.
does. Based on the from features, he's been killing features left and right. His album has gotten great reviews, but also just as like he's rapping on there. You know what I mean? So whether you like the style or the messaging, that's a whole nother conversation. But if we're just going off of his criteria of skill, songs, and features, present, mind you, this wouldn't be my criteria if I was doing the best rappers. But with
Mm.
that criteria that he provided, to me, G Herbo has to be on the list. Chance the Rapper definitely should be on the list. Freddie Gibbs should be on the
I was
list.
about to say Freddie
Um,
Gibbs. It sounds like a Midwest bias now, but we gotta put
now it does.
We
Now
gotta
it
put
does
Freddie in
definitely.
there
It
though. Like,
absolutely sounds like a Midwest bias, but there's just no way. Freddie Gibbs raps too well to not be on this list.
he
Like,
raps too well, bro.
and Alfredo too was classic. Like
Classic.
it was an amazing project.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, Gibbs should be on it. Those are the three main ones that I saw missing. Anybody else you could think of who you felt like should have been
Man,
on the
I'm
list?
tr I'm trying to give our women MC some love. Too. It's kind of hard because I don't know if I have a necessary standout that made like outside of just maybe one hit song. Like I want to be conscious of that too. I don't want to just think of like a couple artists who have like one hitters that I feel like should sneak into this list.
Yeah.
But I just feel at the same time, like I feel like we got to look at like maybe like a Glorilla, maybe a Lotto.
I
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I was in the same boat. I was thinking, especially off of features, I was thinking Lotto, Glorilla for sure are two that came to my mind too.
yeah, I feel like they could sneak in here, but I think for me, when I saw it, I was like, the first thing we said when we talked about it was Chance ain't on here, like Freddie ain't on here. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, to me, Chance to me, those not being on there kind of discredited it for me. Like to me, it was like they like it's those are non-negotiables.
100%. Like they're not. And where I would place Chance if we really wanted to get picky, he's not on the list, but where I would place him above Joey Badass to me. Like personally, I would.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I feel like Joey Badass showed or reminded people that he can still rap. I think his album, we didn't love it. We thought it was good. It was solid. But I don't feel like he
hmm
had such a big year that it was kind of like, whoa, let's like hold our tracks for a minute. Like I didn't get that vibe from it. Um,
no.
and considering this is what we didn't mention, but we have eventually we have to. Why is Lloyd Banks on this list, bro? Like, why is
So
like why?
okay, so hear me out.
Yes,
Lloyd Banks raps really, really well.
very well.
It
Very
always has. It has been on a mixtape and album run, and but has become almost more of like an underground staple. So
mm,
I can understand if you're going just off rapping abilities. I haven't heard Lloyd Banks' project, but I heard his project this year was fire.
mm,
Um, so I can understand on maybe if he's just judging off technical rapping, I then maybe.
mhm.
But yeah, I would agree. I don't think Lloyd Banks has had an impact this year. And to be fair, that's not one of his criteria. Impact wasn't on his criteria, but to me, there's no like what features did he have? Well, presence is on here. And I would say
Presence to
Lloyd Banks
me
hasn't
is
had a
impact.
presence.
You know what I
Yeah, you're
mean?
right. You're right. Presence is also synonymous with impact. So yeah, no, I agree. And in that case, Ransom shouldn't be on here either.
No, he should not, bro. And I like Ransom. Like I actually like him
Me too.
as an artist,
Me too.
TDE, like you know what I mean? Yeah.
We reviewed his last project. It was hard.
It was hard, but like I don't think those two. And actually, if we talking TDE, this may not even be favorable, and I don't even know if it would he would necessarily be in my top 10. I think maybe top 15. Ray Vaughn to me had a bigger impact like in the year than a
The
Ransom did,
ransom.
and they're on
I
the
agree.
same label.
Because remember, we reviewed Ransom and we thought his rapping was good, but we also were like, it wasn't it
Standout
didn't make him stand out as an artist. And I still feel that way about it. I think that his rapping is always on point, but as far as him standing out, I think Ray Vaughn definitely had a standout year, especially him getting busy in that battle. I agree.
for sure. There's a couple other people, yo. Like, I mean, we can nitpick the whole entire list if we
I would have kept.
want.
I would have kept Larry June on it. I would have kept
Yeah,
Wale on it. I think he JID. I would have kept on there. Like
for
all
sure.
of those, I think are
Those are
are
solid.
are are solid. Two Chains, I'm not sure. Like to me, I get why Two Chains is on it because of the Larry June project
Yeah,
and because he went crazy on the Larry June project. I just I think Larry June is when you look at Larry June, you have to look at features too. You know what I
you
mean?
have to.
And maybe I've missed it, but I haven't heard a lot of Two Chains features this
I
year.
don't think he was featured on a lot of things. And I know he's not necessarily. Here's my thing too. I agree that Clips should be at the top as a group, but I would have preferred because they're so distinct and so dope. Like I would actually like not put them as a group. Like I know that's
I would have
kind
put.
of like
No, I agree. I would have put Malice.
I would have put Malice at the top, and I would have put
I
Pusha T
agree.
somewhere in the top 3, 4, just because I just felt like Malice has such a standout year. Like, bro was going absolutely nuclear on like clip stuff, and then other people's stuff on these features like Community on JID's
Yeah.
project. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
I
Overall
I
though,
I I
yeah,
I get doing that though, just so you don't take up two
yeah,
spots.
right,
I
right.
get it, and because all of the features, if I'm not mistaken, they're both on.
That's true, but I just like
They've been
Malice so
they.
much.
I like Malice's versus better, but yeah, they've been both featured, or all the features have been clips features. They haven't been like Malice features.
And
So
then
I get put them together.
yeah, and then I would say like, because I'm trying to think, bro. Like, I know Metro Boomin ain't a hip hop artist. He's not a rapper per se. But I
Right.
feel like he had a big year. I would have put him on the tail end of this just off of that mixtape alone, which ironically I did not like.
Yeah, but he ain't rapping on there. We can't put Metro. We gotta put him on the producer list.
Yeah, I guess. But like the thing that he put together was so dope and was crazy. I didn't like it at all.
That'd be like throwing DJ Khaled on there. You know, like nah.
I guess. But
Well, I
you
don't know
know.
if DJ Khaled produced. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. I don't know if he knows, whatever, man. I don't know if he knows how to work his way around a recording studio personally, but I haven't been there, so I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know I'm not the biggest
But
DJ Khaled person, but I get it. All right, yeah. But I agree. He had a huge impact though.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
so we might need to make our own list, man. What you think about making our own list and putting it on Rapping Reason,
I think we
on the Rapping
should.
Reason social media page?
I think we should. We'll post it on social media and YouTube, bro, because I'm gonna shift
Yeah, so
some things around for sure. For sure.
yeah, so let's both make our own list. We'll both make individual lists, and we'll make sure we get those on our Instagram pages. Make sure y'all follow us at Rapping Reason on there. We'll get our personal lists on there
For sure.
as well. Yes, sir, man. But I like the concept of making these lists, though, man. It gets people to talking about hip hop and,
Exactly. And that's
and
the beauty
and
of it. We all win when that happens.
yeah, reminiscing on which artists had huge impacts. I think it's good. It's good dialogue to have to mention some of those artists. Maybe he left Chance off intentionally. You know what I mean, to get
Yeah.
people talking. Maybe I don't know, but
Yeah.
I surely hope so. Or his ears don't work. It's one of the two. I don't.
It's one of the two, yeah. Because people, bro, like this conversation, you know how like hip Complex or Billboard will come out with the top 50 lists and you can poke holes through it like almost in through the 1 through 10s, the 11 through 20s. Like you can pick so
Yeah.
many holes through it. And I think it's purposeful. Like I really do, because there's too many minds, brains, eyes in the room, ears in the room for certain people to make certain lists. So I think it's definitely to stir a conversation and
Yeah,
uproar.
it's for outrage. Outrage gets people clicking and sharing things a lot. You know what I
Pure
mean? It gets
rage
things
bait.
to go viral.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think this is definitely a little bit of that in this list. But shout out B Dot man. We'll put our list out soon. 21 Savage released the album, man, recently.
Yes, sir. What happened to the streets? 21 Savage, man. And yeah, like me personally, 21 Savage, I think you said this too. Like he's one of those people I listen to in the gym. Like when I'm hitting the road, hitting the pavement, when I'm running or when I'm lifting, like I tune into a 21 Savage project, honestly. What were your thoughts on this new project by 21?
So as you just said, man, 21 Savage is my one of my go-to artists in the gym. For some reason in the gym, I'm perfectly okay with violent music. This is just
Yeah.
pure, senseless, violent music. And I don't know why. I don't know what the connection between lifting weights and violent music is, but for some reason that is the only time that I really designate exclusively for it. Now, that's not to say in the car some of these songs won't go, but like where I listen to it at, in large volume is in the gym for sure. And I think, man, this album has some ones that are gonna make that for me. Now I will say, you know me, I have to start off with messaging. To me, 21 Savage's messaging has not grown or evolved. And it's like, okay, how much do I want to hear about senseless murder in your music? That is going to be my critique. I got to lead with that. I think that I would like to see some growth in his substance, seeing that his talent I've seen get better. He was rapping better now than he's rapped before. Just technically, like when I listen to him rap, I can tell he's grown as a lyricist, but it's just the same murder, murder, kill, 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 kill. In a lot of the songs, there are exceptions to that though. The song "Code of Honor" with G Herbo, fire.
Fire.
One of the best songs on there to me. I think that both of them paint a really vivid depiction of things they've gone through, their mind state when in the streets, all of that stuff. I think that it is. It's a very dark song, but I think it's the production is amazing. I think that the lyricism is amazing. All of that I think is a dope song. That's one of the ones that was a standout for me. The intro hard. Where you from? Hard. I'm gonna be honest. Dog with Glorilla hard. I
All
already
right.
know that's one of the ones that's gonna stick around. Atlanta Tears with Lil Baby, I thought was dope.
It was good, man.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I like that one too. And then man, I'm gonna be honest. One of the ones that shocked me the most on here. Well, first of all, Gang Over Everything is hard.
absolutely.
Another hard one.
Yeah, man.
But the final track, I wish that one shocked me. And I'm gonna be honest here. This is a transparent music podcast. That is a sample of one of my favorite songs of all time. And it's
Mm.
by an artist who who shall
Yep.
not be named.
Yep.
But that's one of my favorite songs. It's always been. It's just a song I really love. I think it embodies all of the elements of really of music that I like, especially within hip hop and R&B spaces. Like, it's got spirituality, it's got hood, it's got all of the elements of a dope song to me. I've always liked that. That's this a song I Wish by artists unknown.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but what I would
Yeah.
say is, so as soon as I heard that there was a sample of this, I was like, "Ooh, this could be bad."
Yeah. Yeah. Dangerous
But I
territory.
liked their dangerous territory because of how much I liked the original song. But I liked it. I thought it
Yeah.
was solid. I thought it was solid, man. So overall, man, I thought it was a really really good project. I think that like I said, you know me, um, I would like to hear more substance. I think that he tried to put it in here and there, but it's hard for me. 21 Savage kind of throws me off because he'll switch back and forth. It'll go like he'll have almost some meaningful lines. G Herbo
Yeah.
does it sometimes too, where they'll have meaningful lines about how they beat the streets and how they change and take care of their family, and then the next line will be about murdering somebody. It's like, bro, y'all, you're throwing me off here. You know what I mean? It's like you are on the right track, and then you have to remind me that you're not on the right track.
Yes. Yes.
It's okay. Like it's almost like they're not okay with like making a fully evolved song.
Yeah, it's and I'll tell you what it is. So for me, like 21 Savage, did you follow him like with the early mixtapes that he had with Metro and all that, or did you get on kind of
Yeah.
okay?
I wasn't. I wouldn't say I was listening to the full projects, but there were songs early on that I was
For
finding.
sure. And his songs were
Yeah.
massive too. But Savage Mode, like all the Savage Modes, like I got hip to him and I didn't like his sound at first. I'm like, bro was like monotone, like he can't really rap. Like he just saying all this
Yeah.
savage stuff. So like people are like drawn to it. You know what I mean? So I can
Absolutely.
say he's evolved as a song maker, songwriter.
Correct.
But I felt
Absolutely.
like I grew bored of this album, bro. Like, and I feel like
Mm.
because I'm hearing the same, like I'm hearing a more evolved artist, but I'm hearing the same stuff.
The
You know
same
what I mean?
substance.
Same substance. And I think for me, bro, like to your point, I think he'll take you there. And what's interesting is like on his previous albums, right? Like American Dream, like he goes there. Like he commits to
Yeah.
the idea of diving into like, talking about the perils of growing up in the streets of Atlanta or the UK, partly in his case and whatnot, and like how that shaped him, right? And then I go to what happened to the streets, and it seems like he's really reverting back and like to like that old messaging of the Savage Mode series, right?
Yeah.
And while the production is better, maybe he's more fluid on these beats and whatnot. Like I don't feel like he's really trying. And I feel like the moments where he's sneaking in like some positive messaging or some inspiring messaging, and then he'll be like, yeah, but I opt him though. Like that to me is like lazy. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's lazy because
It,
you just relying on
it's
like the
very
stuff
lazy.
old. You know what I'm saying? Like so that kind of caught
Yeah, yeah.
dead
I agree.
center in a song, and then I skip it because I'm like I don't want to hear this. Like, honestly, yeah,
And that's where a couple of the songs fell on for me. It was like I said, outside of the gym, I just don't even want to hear it. It's just like
yeah,
it's not resonating with me. And I think there were a lot of opportunities in this project that he had to go all the way in and really commit to the messaging in a more profound way. And then he was just like, yeah, but we spinning on them. You know what I'm saying? It went from it's just like there's no there's no it lacked depth, I would say, lyrically, as far as the messaging. Like I said, I think his rapping has gotten better as far as
yeah,
just lyricism and the way he's putting together bars and all of that stuff. But as far as substance, it's digressing. I would 100%
a hundred
agree with
percent,
that.
100%, man. But overall though, like I mean, it's not my favorite 21 album at all. Like I'll candidly say I don't really like it overall, but I would say like certain songs, like what 21 can do, what certain artists can do is just make records that you know is gonna pop in the strip club, in the hookah spot or whatever. And for within our headphones in the gym. One of those for me is Step Brothers. I love Young Nudie, man. That's my dog. So like I listen to him. I actually like that. Dog with Glorilla's hard. Code of Honor is
Mhm.
really one of the lone tracks that I feel like he really commits to like talking about like something beyond just the murder shoot jump. Um
Yeah, it
Atlanta,
goes deeper than outside of just that. Yeah, that's
exactly.
definitely that's the standout one on the album for
And
sure.
it's no mistake that Herb is like the guy to be featured on this track, considering what he did on his last album, where yeah, he would have songs that are talking about spinning the block on somebody on occasion, but like he really is a deep thinker, you can tell. And that's what his last album reflects. So the fact that they did a collab and it turned out to be this record on this album, that to me like was dope to see. Atlanta Tears, Lil Baby, and 21, that's always a good collab. And then I Wish I really like. Now, I will say, bruh, the song that I shouldn't like, but I do. And the reason I shouldn't, because these two is freaky as, you know what I mean? Pop it, bro. I like Pop it, dog.
Pop
This,
It, you know what? I'm not. You know what? I wasn't mad at Pop It.
I'm not mad at it, bro. I'm not
I
mad.
didn't want to hear it. So at first, when I first came on, I skipped it, and then when I went
Yeah,
back to the project and listened again, I was like, nah, this is hard. Lotto was rapping on there.
She was rapping, bro. I actually low key,
I,
Lotto
I like
outdid my
Lotto, man.
man's. Yeah, I think she
Oh,
outdid my
absolutely.
man's. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes, absolutely. No, Lotto slid. Look, Lotto can rap.
for real, like really rap.
I might not feel her substance. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And like I might not relate to her messaging, but Lotto can rap. I've never heard a trash Lotto verse.
never, never. And yeah,
Well, like it might be she might be saying some stuff that I don't really want to hear, but I've never heard her rap poorly.
you feel me? Never,
Yep.
never,
And
bro.
like my girl listens to a lot of Lotto stuff, and every time I hear her, like she going crazy.
She
So
going
like
crazy.
Lotto is consistent with rapping.
And that's why she'll probably make, I ain't gonna lie, bro. She'll probably make my top 10. She's in at least in contention because I heard what she did on Summer Walker's album. And I was like,
Yes,
okay, all right. Like this song
a lot
shouldn't
of
even
rapping.
work the way it's working, but it did. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she's been on fire, bro. I like their collab a lot. I shouldn't. But again, man, overall how I feel like, this isn't 21's best. I think maybe some years, months down the road, maybe he would agree. I don't know, whatever. But I just heard better 21. But 21's such a big artist, and I'm a fan of his music so much so that I'm willing to bypass this and listen to the next album or project once it drops. You know what I mean? Like so, yeah,
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 yeah, I 100% agree, man. I think that I would like to see, yeah, just more thought into the lyrics and the messaging. You know what I mean?
a
Just
hundred.
a little more thought and growth.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, but production crazy.
Production is insane. You can always count on that, bro. It's something with Atlanta artists, especially of this magnitude, of this level. Like production is never going to be an issue, and if it is, that's like rare. Like that's what I mean. Yeah. So
Yeah,
overall,
100.
decent.
Yeah, solid, solid, solid. All right, man. There was some more hip hop news, man. I don't know how familiar you were with this radio show, or if you ever listened to it. It is based in New York. Um, Hot 97 morning show, Ebro in the morning. A show that features, of course, Ebro Darden, but also Laura Stiles and Peter Rosenberg,
Mm,
was canceled.
mm,
Hot 97 has recently been taken over by new ownership.
mm.
And yeah, they have announced that that morning show will no longer exist in the traditional form on Hot 97. Man, what were your thoughts about this?
My thoughts were, I'll be candid. I did not bat an eye. I'm gonna be honest, only because I'm not even trying to be a a-hole. It's only because, bro, I didn't know they were still going like strong. I really
Mm,
didn't, bro. I thought like with Ebro going Apple and hosting that program, that platform with Nadeska Alexis, who I actually like as a media figure, and some of the other people that they have on the show or that program, like I thought bro had completely committed to Apple Music. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Rosenberg does odd stuff outside of hip hop or adjacent to hip hop anyway. And Laura Styles I haven't really connected with. I'll be honest too. I haven't really listened to Hot 97 frequently since K Fox left. So that not only shows my distance from that program and radio show, but also like where I'm drawn to. And I've always been drawn to the Breakfast Club a lot more. Had they had made this announcement, I would have fell to my knees at a Kmart, brother. Like probably, yeah, easily. So you know what I mean? With Hot 97 though, I wasn't subscribed to the radio show. I didn't really listen to any of their interviews. I listen to Nessa pro like stuff, her interviews a lot more compared to
yeah.
theirs. So like for me, it didn't really make that big a dent. But I will say, as far as legacy media, like platforms like a Hot 97, seeing those disappear and you know what I mean? Like that's a big hit on legacy media though. And that's something that I personally don't want to see as someone who works for a legacy media company. But that's where the world is going right now. You know what I mean? And so it was new ownership was the cause and the reason for like their, you know,
Yeah, they haven't announced what the reason was.
okay,
I know Ebro's been hinting at there might be some political reasons for a lot of his stances that he takes politically. Of course, nobody has come out and confirmed that, but that is what Ebro's saying. But they have been taken over by new ownership in the last year.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Interesting move, man. I would say that there was a short period of time where I listened to Ebro in the morning show on YouTube. Like I said, I'm
Mhm.
not based in New York, so I'm not listening to it on via FM, and I just don't listen to traditional radio
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, I consume it in different ways, and typically it's digitally. But when I listened to, there was a short wave where I was listening to Ebro in the morning show occasionally. I will say that I stopped. I just think that a they needed a younger talent on the show.
I think
I
so.
think that I think that that was to me always the kind of that was one of the missteps to me is them not embracing a younger media personality for that platform. And you know what? And to be honest, man, as somebody who's worked in radio, that is almost all of these radio stations' biggest
Mm.
issue is
Mm.
not embracing the youth
Yeah.
and keeping and it, with especially when it comes to hip hop shows. I think that it's really important because hip hop is youth driven. No matter what we say, hip hop is a youth driven genre. So always has been since its inception.
Yeah.
So it's you need a young voice there. I think that when you have three people who I don't know everybody's age, but when you have three people who are probably in their 50s,
Yeah.
who are the hosts, to me, you need a younger voice there to really keep it fresh and engaging. And I think that they kind of had lost that element of it as far as the internet and having that presence. So that was my biggest thing. Is one of the reasons why I kind of tuned out. But I love Ebro as a hip hop figure. I
I
think
do
that he does
too.
well. I really love his show on Apple. I like his show on Apple way more than I like the morning show.
Way
So
more. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
I think he does really dope and thoughtful interviews with hip hop artists. That's really about the lyrics and about the substance of the project. He had a great interview with Chance recently that I thought was dope.
Amazing.
So yeah, man, I love Ebro as a hip hop figure who I'm sure would be fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Ultimate.
so but that's definitely my perspective. I think, like you said, we want to see Hot 97 means so much to hip hop.
Right.
You
It
know,
does.
you don't ever want to see a company like that falter. And the same thing, the only thing I've really been tuned into lately on there is some of the interviews that Nessa does as well. Um, but they have Funk Flex taking over the morning shows, which is an interesting, at least temporarily, which is an interesting move because that is not a voice that I would want to hear in the morning.
I
You know what
wouldn't
I
want to
mean?
hear it
I,
any point in the day, respectfully. No, no, no. That's
I
just me.
like Funk Flex's. I like his freestyles. I like the freestyle segments that Funk Flex does. But as far as like a morning show, it'd be interesting. I think they're gonna have to put some good co-hosts on there with them to really make that make sense in the morning. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see what the next moves are. I know that Ebro, the morning show, they've moved it over to digitally on YouTube for now. It'd be interesting to follow what they're gonna do next. But yeah, to me, Ebro is the standout, and I think his Apple show is dope.
It's amazing, bro. And you're right. Ebro is such a magnetic media personality. And what's important is because I understand why certain radio stations, and you can speak to this far better than I can, but I understand why they rely on like older radio hosts for certain reasons. And I understand why those radio hosts that are more seasoned don't want to give up that seat, right? They fought so hard to get to that level, especially when you work in a major market that has since expanded and even been syndicated in various cities. Like I understand it, but you have to have
Oh,
that
I get
younger
it.
element. And you see what benefit it serves to like a show like a Breakfast Club that took in Lauren
Absolutely.
LaRosa, even Jess Hilarious. A lot of people think she's older than she really is. She in her early 30s, man. She's young. So especially when it comes to the radio game. So yeah, you see what it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
But
it brings a new life back into it, man. And I think that I also understand why people hold on to those seats for dear life. But to me, it's I think one of the problems with it is especially in major markets like a New York, LA, Chicago, specifically. LA, I got a whole nother problem with their radio, their hip hop radio. I just think it's awful. But I think that specifically New York and Chicago, I get why people hold on to those seats just because of the fact that there's nowhere to go up in radio from there because you're in the
yeah,
largest markets. So I get the concept, but that um that transition should look like TV. That transition
yes,
could look like other elements or independent media, or whether it be a podcast or I think that
yes,
should even evolve into something else. and that way you're able to bring in newer talent who can do the same thing, and that transition can be from radio to TV to independent media, like whether it's a podcast or whatever the type of platform it is. I think that can be a transition point so that it's not like you're just sitting in the same seat for 30 years. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
I think things are moving fast. I just don't think that the internet is the traditional radio fans are the average 20, 30 year old are not in a car listening to radio. You know what I mean? So it's I think that we have to evolve what we view as those seats and what radio looks like for radio to survive. And I think embracing the youth earlier is going to be
Is
big.
huge. It's going to be huge, man. And again, you're right. Like that institutional knowledge, like a Ebro has so much knowledge because he was there. You know what I'm saying?
And he's done
That
he's done every role. He's done every role there. He's been from the program
Yep,
manager. He's done all of the different roles in radio. He's not just been a host. He actually probably has spent more time not as a host than he has
exactly. And
on the
so,
microphone.
and you see, or you can get a glimpse into his succession plan. Oh, okay, Hot 97 doesn't work. I still have this Apple thing. And also, like you said, the independence media route. This right here, Rap and Reason, is an independent media platform that we're building actively. And it's something that we can stand on, beyond what we do in a given work day period, in your case, semester, school year, academic year, and me in, my newsroom role, right? So that's important, bro. We see the value in it. The world has turned over many new leaves, and you gotta like be with it or get left behind, bro. So that's what I would encourage older radio hosts or anybody within the media or news industry to try to do as best they can. 100%.
Yeah, man, it's to make that pivot, and I think that, like I said, I think all of them will be fine. I know that even Peter Rosenberg, I think that he's I want to say he does some work with WWE, I believe.
Yeah.
And like I don't know much about Laura Styles and what she does outside of radio, but
Mhm.
I think all of them will be fine. They're all
Yeah.
established figures in media, so shout out to them, man, and I'll be interested to see what moves they make next. But yeah, man, keep progressing, man, and y'all let some of
Yeah.
these younger talents, man, get on air,
Come
get and
on
hop
now.
on
Let them.
microphone.
Yeah.
Let them hop on air, man. That was battles that I faced early on, man, when I was in radio, is, being young and ready, and people like, nah, you ain't touching a microphone till you're 40. And it's like, well, I'm gonna get on out of here. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
What?
it's just that mindset, man, that a lot of people have is very skewed,
For sure. Yeah.
especially in major markets.
Like, come on, we ain't got no place for that, man. Like, support the youth, man. Make their paths easier than yours was. Don't make them work for it, but like, try to do your best to give them opportunity that you didn't
And
have.
I think agree, and I think it'll help radio progress.
100%. 100%. People say
Yeah, you
radio
need a
dying, bro. It is not dying. It just looks
radio's
different.
not radio's not dying, man. It is evolving. It is evolving to where it is everybody's not consuming it via AM FM stations. It's
Right.
evolving into being, some people listen on in traditional formats, some people are going to listen online, some people are going to listen via podcast. That's just what it's moving to. And when you're moving into those different areas, man, I hate to say it like this, bro, but people just don't want to listen to three people who 50 plus on a microphone, bro. Like, y'all have to at least have one person. I think the Breakfast Club has done it well because you have different voices from different eras.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most beautiful thing in media is when you have, that's why a show like Everyday Struggle was able to do well, because you had different eras being able to debate and talk
Yeah.
about hip hop. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think having somebody who's 30 and then having somebody who's 50 and then having somebody in their 40s, I think it's a beautiful thing when done right. So
Absolutely. And now among the like ways that, radio podcasting is consumed now we're looking at it at streaming platforms, man. Let's talk about the Netflix deal that was just like secure, bro. Netflix is
crazy.
on a generational run right now. Like this is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Netflix is becoming even a bigger media conglomerate. And I didn't even really know that was possible, but they are taking
Yeah.
things up a notch as a media company. And one things that they're doing is investing in podcasting, man. We saw Spotify do the same type of move,
Mm.
but they're doing it in video formatting. So what they're doing is they've recently announced that at the beginning of 2026 that they're going to be bringing podcasts to Netflix. They're for video content. So one of the largest platforms that they're doing so with is the Breakfast Club. So the Breakfast Club, as far as video formatted, will now be able to be consumed on Netflix. Man, what do you think about that move?
Man, I don't like it as someone who listens to, Breakfast Club for we talking shoot over a decade, probably close to 15 years now, like via YouTube, right? So like, because you could listen to it on the move, and I guess you could do the same thing with Netflix if you have it downloaded to your phone. But I'm just so used to, I'm one of those old grumpy YouTube watchers who's just likes their stuff is accessible. They like their subscription list intact, and they can always expect a new Breakfast Club video, a new Joe Button podcast, and well, he'll still be on YouTube, but like with the Breakfast Club moving to Netflix, dog, now I got to think about, okay, what's my login? You know what I'm saying? What is my connection going to work in this area? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's an
What's
added
my login?
barrier.
It's hilarious.
You know what I mean? It's an added barrier, but ultimately, like, someone in the media space, not in that level of podcasting just yet, right? But to see that happen, it just inspires me more to see like what new heights podcasting can actually reach or has reached at this point, right? Like we heard
Yeah.
about the Joe Rogan deal that he inked with Spotify like a couple years ago. We heard about the numbers that Joe Budden has generated from his Patreon for his podcast. Now we got folks moving from traditional radio or YouTube clips to now having their stuff posted and premiere on Netflix, the world's biggest streaming service in the world. Like it's just like this is crazy. So how far can
Yeah.
podcasts go? It's inspiring, bro. So I don't like it for consumer reasons, but from a business and just being in the inside in the industry, I love to see that.
Yeah, man. I will agree in some ways, man. I think that on one end it's dope to see, like because of the amount of eyes that are going to be able to be drawn to some of these podcasts. I think it's
Hmm.
dope. But as somebody who's been really, I've been teaching podcast curriculum and creating curriculum on podcasting for 6 years,
Hmm.
7 years maybe, and following podcasting and watching its evolution and growth has been dope. But I think that bringing it to a platform like Netflix could, hopefully it doesn't, could kind of kill the. I feel like the intimacy of what podcasting has become,
Mm. Mm.
and how it kind of feels like I think one of the beautiful things about podcasting is that it feels a little less polished. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that it's a little bit more raw. And I think that if they're able to really keep that element of it on a platform like a Netflix, I think that that's great. And I like Breakfast Club is a different dynamic because it's not a traditional podcast, but some of the other shows that they bring, and if they just decide to bring a show like even like a Joe Budden podcast that
Yeah.
people have been following since they were recording it in somebody's garage, or you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I think that that's a very different dynamic to see it on a platform like Netflix. On one end is dope, but I just hope they're able to keep the rawness of it
Yeah.
when you're putting it in a platform that has billions of users.
That's a
Um,
great point. Censorship is going to be key. Like I feel like in
yeah,
some ways I don't listen to the Joe Rogan podcast really ever,
no,
but from hearing it from people that subscribes and listen to every one of his podcasts, they say he felt like there's certain confines that he has to work with, and he's the biggest, one of the biggest podcasters in the world, right? So like to see that happen,
I wouldn't even
um,
say one of the biggest. I would say the biggest. And
the biggest.
I'm not a Joe Rogan
I'm not
podcast
either,
fan,
bro.
or
Yeah.
but as far as like reach, yeah, probably the
Yeah.
biggest.
And so for him to say that, that that may signal something within Netflix. I feel like Netflix has been able to handle certain properties well, you know what I mean? But who knows how it's going to really shake up? Because the reason why I love, as far as radio goes, the Breakfast Club and some of the other podcasts that are a part of this transition is because of that rawness, that kind of uncut type of like brand of content that they do. Sometimes it's
Hmm.
informative, sometimes it is, bro. They have a lot of political correspondents actually tune in to uh to the Breakfast Club, and they give you insightful information. And sometimes, bro, certain jokes that Envy and Charlemagne say, are they not going to be able to say that on Netflix anymore? Like, it does make you question it
Right.
a little bit. So we just got to see. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see how it translates over. Are they going to still be given the same freedom? To be honest, Netflix even on their own original show, they let a lot of stuff ride.
Facts.
So I
Facts. They
don't
do.
So I think that they might be fine on that in that regard. I just have never. It's hard to envision what that looks like. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see what a podcast looks like on a platform like Netflix. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. But I agree with you on the as far as accessibility. I think that that does throw things off because I'm another person who listens to YouTube on their phones. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, and I think that I'm somebody who doesn't use Netflix on their phone ever. The only time I've ever used Netflix on a phone or on a tablet is if I'm on a flight. You know what I mean?
that's it.
That's
Yeah,
the only time I've ever logged into Netflix on my phone before ever. You know what
you
I
know,
mean? I think so. I do think that switches it up. And Breakfast Club is one of those platforms that a lot of people consume on YouTube, but a lot of people consume it on YouTube at home on
that's
the
true.
TVs too. So we'll see how they're able to pivot it. I've kind of fell off from the Breakfast Club. I really only watch their interviews. I don't really watch any. I
Hmm.
don't watch a lot of their like full shows, but
Yeah,
yeah, I kind of pivoted off of it. I think they're doing a good job now. I think they finally have found another formula that works um since they brought on Lauren Lewis. So I think it works.
I think it works. Yeah, I think it's just a better show. Like to be honest,
Yeah.
I feel like the quartet of the Breakfast Club. I feel like it works better. There's a certain member that I that I think is a little bit of a weak link, but with any team, dog, like
Mm.
sometimes you stronger together than separate. So, yeah, I'm talking about Jess, bro. Can I just say it? Like I feel like she
I'm gonna
can
be honest.
lack energy.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were talking about DJ Envy.
Nah, I love Envy, bro. You know what's crazy? What does he really contribute? Like I'm talking about during the interviews and stuff. I don't know. But I
I know he
love
does.
Envy, bro, because he bounces off Charlotte so well. Like I think that's why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See, that's why I would go. I was gonna say I don't really know what DJ Envy does on there. I love him as a DJ and his mixes and
Yeah.
stuff, but like as far as like as a media personality,
Yo, I don't
uh,
know, man. He does the intros. Yo, we got a special guest. Like he does. That's his
that's a
thing.
wild that's a wild contribution. Nah, shout out to the Breakfast Club though, man. They've cracked the code, man, and
For
congrats to them
sure.
on this Netflix move, man. Dope.
Yeah, man, this is fire, bro. This is big for the culture, bro. And they're in like a mix with like a lot of dope podcasts, like some of the best true crime podcasts in the world. So like to be in that mix and to be in that class, making this transition speaks to like the impact of a Breakfast Club as well as the impact of the other platforms that are now joining that cohort, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, man, huge, man. So I definitely will be tuning in. Number one, just out of curiosity to see what it looks like on Netflix. If they're gonna change up the shot types and are they gonna like increase
Mm,
the production quality? I'll be interested to see if they make any of those type of moves. But they already have good production quality, so I don't really know how much adjusting they would need. But yeah,
yeah,
man, I'm interested to see it, man. Shout out Envy, Charlemagne, Jess, Lauren
yeah,
LaRosa, the whole team, man. Dope,
yeah.
dope, dope.
Dope, dope.
What else? What else we got to get into today, bro?
So my man, did you want to talk the big crit album that just dropped and the Nas album? Which one you want to do first, man?
Yeah, man. I'm willing to do crit first. So we have to be transparent with our audience. I haven't gotten a chance, and I'm ashamed of this. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to Nas's album yet, and you haven't gotten a chance to listen to Big Chris' album yet. So we're gonna do a short review independently, and then we'll come back and give our thoughts on those. I don't want to give thoughts on the album I haven't heard. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And Nas album definitely deserves a full review on my end. But as far as Big Chris album, man, he recently released a project. It sounds more like a mixtape, but of course, who knows the difference between a mixtape and an
At this
album these
point.
days?
Yeah.
I don't really even know what the difference is because they're both coming to streaming platforms. But dedicated to Cadalee Biarritz. I'm probably butchering how to say that.
Okay.
But dedicated to Cadalee Biarritz. Dope project, man. I really enjoyed this. It's hosted by Carlos Miller, which I think is
Okay. All
fire.
right.
I think, yeah. Shout out Carlos Miller, one of my favorite comedians, man. And shout out to the 85 South Show, another dope podcast that I listen
Super
to.
dope.
And yeah, but I liked it, man. It sounds very mixtape like, very southern, very bass in your car, bumping album. Some more thought-provoking stuff on here, but this is really just a ride project, like a project to
Hmm.
ride to. And I think he did a dope job on it, man. Some of the standout songs on here for me personally are Old News, hard. Not in the Whip, another one I really liked. Elevated, Hard, Precious Metal. And then man, the final song I thought was really hard called Celebrate the Line featuring and this is the only features on here. Other than that, there's no features. This is just it's straight Big Crit other than the last song, and the last song was featuring Paul Wall, Slim Thug, you know what I mean? Everybody who needed to be there on that joint
It's crazy.
is featured, man. Lil Kiki, Zero, like it's one of those.
Yeah.
They kept it. He kept it real southern. Another dope record, man. And I like some of the skits. I know you don't like skits, but I think this one has some funny skits on it. It had a
With
couple
Carlos
funny ones.
Miller, if he's leading the helm, those are skits I'm gonna tune into for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, yeah, man. But I thought it was dope, man. It's not a traditional crit project. This is like I said. This feels more like a mixtape.
Hmm.
It's definitely just ride around in the whip to music. Not the usual depth that you would get from a Crit album. This one is more, yeah, it's more just some fly ride around music. You know what I mean? And I thought it was dope. Um, I definitely would recommend checking it out. But yeah, man, shout out Big Crit. Looking forward to what his next project is gonna sound like. Like I said, this feels very much like a mixtape.
Which I like. It seemed like, so I haven't listened to it yet, but I like the concept already, especially the end song, Celebrate the Line, with all of these Southern rap legends, bro, on this one track. Like, I love Posse Cuts. We talked about that a few podcasts ago, where, like, where are
Yeah.
the Posse Cuts again? You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like he dropped one on here. I like the
Yep.
mixtape feel, bro. Like, I don't know what's in the water, bro, like within the hip hop industry right now, but it seems like they're going back to that, right? I haven't listened to it, so you can speak to this more. Does it have remnants of like early 2010 like mixtape vibes, or it just sound like
I
what's the vibe?
I would say it sounds very much. I would say, yeah, I would say early 2000s mixtape
Oh
vibes. Like it
wow.
sounds,
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, somewhere in between that. I would say this sounds like it would have definitely dropped on that piff.
Okay. Okay. I actually like that, bro, because we saw what Metro's album or project mixtape did. Like we saw that. I listened to ASAP Ferg's album too. What is this joint called? Flip Phone Shorty. And it has a lot of that too. It has a lot of that like late 2000s, that piff, hot new hip hop type of
Yeah,
vibe to it, man. So I actually like the return to that, yo. It's like kind of
me
refreshing. I
too.
don't know if I want to necessarily listen to that for a full legit album necessarily. You know what I'm saying? But as far as a mixtape, something to just throw out and give to the people, I love that, bro. Because there's just a certain energy, a certain vibe that I
Yeah,
just love during that period in time where it was a time of discovery. Like it felt like music discovery was really elevated at that point. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I almost want to, and I don't know if a streaming platform should do it or a new streaming platform should do it, but I hate to get them this idea for free. But I really do believe that these streaming platforms need to find a way to create a section that is for mixtapes to be able to differentiate the two.
Yes.
I don't know if we need a whole different mixtape app because people are hesitant to download new apps these days. But maybe there should be a separate section in here that is for mixtapes to differentiate the two. I think that'd be dope, man. Where artists can put projects that are more geared towards this is a mixtape where I can kind of differentiate what is the difference between an album and a mixtape. Because right now they're all going to Spotify, they're all going to Apple, they all
Exactly.
have cover art and tracks. Like I don't know the difference. So if
Yeah.
they could find some way to differentiate them in these apps, I think it'd be dope.
I think so because Doechii has been riding the coattail of a mixtape for the last almost what year and a half, dog. It sounds every bit and feels every bit like an album to me though. So it's
Yeah, that one don't
confusing.
feel like a mixtape. That feels like an album.
That feels like an album. Like, bro, the cover art, like the promo, you on a tour, like you know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah,
full legit tour. Not like I'm hitting these certain circuits in this market. No, like this is an album rollout, post rollout at this point. So I'm confused. Some clarification on what would be helpful in reviewing it for sure. Cause I don't know if certain things can't get cleared, don't get cleared, or certain things don't happen because it's a mixtape or album. Like, so that would be helpful. You know what I'm saying? I like that idea.
yeah. Yeah, definitely would be very helpful, man. And but yeah, man, looking forward to it, man. Hey, look, check this out. Check
Yeah.
out Big Chris Project. Another one on here, man, that he's singing on that I think was dope. It's a joint on there called I-20 that's hard too.
Yo, that's the
Yeah,
one I've
man.
heard. That's the one song I heard, and I love it. So if it sounds anything
Yeah.
like this on the album, I'm tuning in for sure.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
It's smooth, man. It's one of them smooth player southern type of albums. I think that if you're into that type of music, if you into that old Outkast, old even
Yeah,
old UGK type feel, I think you'll like this.
man, fire,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir, man. What did you think about that Nas and Premier joint?
Listen, so the album, the project we've been waiting on for, shoot, I know a lot of Nas Premier fans been waiting on this as long as I've been born. So to see this happen, bro, and the way it happened is amazing. So Light Years, Nas and DJ Premier collab, it is like really, really good. I think for like hip hop
Nice.
fans, purists especially, like I think it fulfills all the wishes that you would want out of this collab. Like the beats, it has that classic East Coast, Beast Coast type of feel. It's nostalgia, but it's transferable to today, right? Like people today can really rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the standout ones is Get Ready. They really hit the ground running with this album off the gate. New York State of Mind Part 3. Didn't think I would see it,
Mm.
but this is,
Yeah,
this is the moment to see it. You know what I'm
when
saying?
I saw that when I saw that listed, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta check this out.
Absolutely, dog. And I would say the album is consistent throughout. Nas is rapping at the highest level he's rapped in a very long time, and it's no better time to do it than on this project. I felt he was leaning back a little bit on the lyrical gymnastics that he would do on his last or his earlier projects of the millennia when he was doing collaborations with Hit Boy because it didn't really call for it, right? It was a different
Mhm.
pocket that Hit Boy was trying to pull Nas into, and Nas bodied it. So for him to kind of return to form in a way on this project with DJ Premier, man, it was dope to see, and it felt like, you know, it felt natural as it always has.
Nice.
I would say like my favorite records on here real quick is Nasty, Esco, Nazir, My Story, Your Story. I love when AZ and Nas like collaborate, bro. They have like probably my
When I s-
favorite song of Nas's. What is it? Life's Up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man.
Dog,
AZ got busy on that song. I ain't
busy.
gonna lie. There's no way I would have let AZ verse go first. Ain't no way, bro. You
We
pushing
not
that
clearing
joint
that one,
back.
bro. No, we scrapping that because you
Ain't
can't do that
no
on my record, bro.
way. Jeez. Yeah,
Yeah,
as soon as I
man.
saw that there was an AZ feature, I got excited by that.
Yes, bro, and it fulfills it for sure. And I would say the record that like surprised me the most is Bouquet to the Ladies, right? This is a song that is a literal dedication to women MCs throughout hip hop history. That is the concept, and it's executed in a way that like is the best way it could be done, in my opinion. It's not corny, it's not like simpish, it's not overreaching, right? Like it lands where it's supposed to land. It's a real ode to the women of hip hop, including the very woman who founded Nas and was like, yo, y'all should rock with this young 19-year-old. He can rap circles around any of your favorite MCs that are twice his age, book them. And so he gives it, he dedicates it to her and as well as other MCs. The only issue, some of them MCs I didn't feel like needed any dedication. You know what I'm saying? The Sexy Red, I
Ooh.
think we could do without. You know what I'm saying?
He did
But
he did not do a dedication to Sexy Red on there.
yeah, no. But other than that, brother, I really like this album. Third Childhood, like Second Childhood is like one of my favorite Nas songs as well. For him to do a third was a dope perspective to have, man. So overall, I really like this album. It's one of those albums though, I will say, because of the sound, like I don't feel the urge or scratch to listen to a premiere type of beat all the time, right? But like for the mode that you in, especially because it's winter, bro. We baggy pants, Tim's, bubble coat weather. Like this is an album to listen to around this time. So
Yeah.
it's dope. It's dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out, man. I heard the intro. The intro is hard. So
Hard.
I'm looking forward to checking this project out, man. Shout out to Nas, man. Nas is on a legendary run, man. Him and what he's doing with Mass Appeal is man, he hip hop figure of the year. You know what I mean? I don't know
100.
who. That's not an award, but we need to find one just to give it to Nas. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Facts. Facts. We need to find a
Yeah,
way, bro.
find a way, man. Because of time, we're not going to be able to review the Games album on this episode. We're going to review it on the next episode, though. We are going to get to it. Game released a project, and he rapping on there, so we
Rapping.
will make rapping on there. So we will make sure that we give a thorough review of that in the next podcast episode, man. We got anything else before hitting hits?
Nah, man, I think that's it, bro. Like hitting hits it is.
Hidden hits, bro. Man, look, I got some hidden hits this time. I got some hidden hits, and I got some nice nonsense as well, man. So for those who do not know, hidden hits is our segment where we talk about what songs we feel like should have been hits, that weren't hits. Sometimes we do new, sometimes we do old. Um, man, so first of all, I want to point out because I went back to this again, and man, it's hard. A quick 16 for Mama, De La Soul, and Killer Mike.
Amazing.
Uh, Amazing, bro. Amazing joint. Another one, man, that I have to point out. And I went back to this, man, and I knew it was hard when it dropped, but for some reason when I went back to it this week, I was like, yo, this intro for an album was crazy. Whacked Out Murals by
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar from GNX. I went back
Yeah.
to that and was like, yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man, Kendrick is different, bro. Whacked Out Murals, he was talking on there. So
Talking
that's one that definitely
crazy.
stood out. Yeah, man. So that's definitely another one on there for me. What else do I have? I think those are my main ones that I really want to highlight for hidden hits. I'm gonna say that for nice nonsense. I think those are good for hidden hits.
Yeah. Okay. That's a solid
Yeah,
list though.
yeah. What you got?
As I look down my liked songs category
That's
right
the
here.
same thing I do. I just go through my
Yeah.
like songs.
So I know like we're obviously gonna get a full review or do a full review of the game's mixtape. You know what I mean, with DJ Drama next episode, but I have to point out So Contagious. Like this is just a record, man,
Mhm.
that is just
Okay.
it's just dope. It's prime game. And it's just a dope record, man. Like it makes you feel like you in Cali, but in a certain section, you don't necessarily want to be at long, but it's just the vibes is just right though. So I'm gonna stick around, until I can't no more. And then
Okay.
man, I gotta give it to Third Childhood. I know, like I reference it like when I did the Nas review, album review, but Third Childhood is just a dope song as far as perspective. Like you're listening to an artist who's telling you, yo, like I may have done some immature stuff now, but me as an evolved man, now that I've proven myself, my worth, and my value to the world, I like to dip into doing certain things that I did in my younger years because now I understand what it means to do it now versus then. You know what I'm saying? And I just love that message. Like, just because you're in your late 40s, early 50s, life ain't over for you yet, bro. Like you can still do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Just do it with some sense. And I like that message, man. Yeah, so that's my hidden hits list right there.
Yeah. Nice, bro. Okay. So let's get into some of this nice nonsense, man.
Let's do it.
Um,
Do it.
Nice nonsense is the segment where we highlight some songs that we don't necessarily feel like have the substance that you would find in some of the hidden hits, but they still hard and we like them anyway. And it's our
Yeah.
chance to kind of highlight some of those type of records, man. I got one man out of Mississippi.
Mm.
And I'm glad. I love it when I'm kind of early to an artist because like it's always a good feeling where you like, yeah, this is gonna work.
Yep.
And my mom actually, believe it or not, put me on this one. Uh, it's an artist out there, a young female artist called Be for Better. That is the rap name. She got a joint called Get Active.
Okay.
Hard,
Okay. All right. Good.
hard. Not gonna lie to you, man. Because I remember my mom sent me. She was like, it's a girl out of Mississippi, man. It's ratchet, but it's kind of hard. I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. She was
Good.
not lying. It's a joint called Get Active by B for Better. I've checked out a couple of other records. She got some other ones too that's hard, but this one is one that she just released. Hard, man. So definitely shout out B for Better, hard record. And then I'm gonna do a throwback, man. RIP Young Dolph, man. 100 shots.
100 shots. Yeah, bro. Classic joint right there.
Jesus.
Classic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's one of those ones. Hard record, man. Hard record, man. I heard it out the other day and was like, man, different.
Different, man. And I watched him perform. That's the only artist I've ever paid money to see perform whose song I knew none of their songs. I came there
Really?
for vibes, bro. Straight vibes. What type of vibe I was interested or seeking at that time?
Yeah, you were looking for a different type of
Who
vibe.
knows? Right, bro.
To
Knew
show
none
up
of
to a
them.
Dolph show without knowing Dolph music, you were looking for danger, sir.
Violence, Black Air Force One type vibes. And I got it, bro. You know what I mean? That's a solid list though, bro. That's a solid list, man. Mine's are a little bit more tame, maybe. I don't know. Pooh Shiesty. I don't know if you were you like a fan?
Hold on. First of all, saying my list is tame and then starting with Pooh Shiesty is crazy. There is tame and Pooh Shiesty I've never heard in the same sentence in my life. But what? The
You got a valid point there. But
first day
listen,
out joint?
no, I was thinking about that one, but I don't like that one. So
I
I
didn't like
went
it as much as I thought I would either.
like, bro, you been in there 5 years. I was expecting something a little different. So I think what I was looking for was like neighbors, like type vibe to it. Like I was looking for a neighbors type
Okay.
song, and that wasn't it for me. But you know what I mean? Is what it is. Give him some time. You know, get some rust off, and he'll come back with something hard. But it made me want to listen to his old work, Shiesty Season. That was like mixtape, bro. I was blowing, bro. I was listening to that mixtape like almost every other day when it dropped. You know what I mean? Back in 2021.
Okay.
I can't even believe it was almost 5 years ago. But I was listening to Box of Churches with 21 Savage. That was one of those lone records on that mixtape or that album, whichever one. Spotify do a better job of separating and clarifying. But that was one of those songs where I was like, okay, like I like this. It's showing the darker sides of the street lifestyle that he's lived or living, at that time. So I really liked it. Then you go with Hit the Floor with Denzel Curry. Denzel Curry is one of our most underappreciated MCs right now. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Like he really is. He's really
Mhm.
underrated in a lot of people. In my opinion, I f what
Yeah.
anybody else thinks, but he's underrated. I think he's. I think he's as equally underrated to me as Vince Staples is for a lot of our listeners out on the
Hmm.
West Coast who say, "Yo, y'all talk Kendrick,
Yeah.
y'all talk Tyler, but y'all don't talk about Vince at all." So that's how I feel about Denzel Curry when it comes to Florida rap. So he has a song called "Hit the Floor" with Ski Mask, Slump God. Fire, man. It's just something to like make you want to stomp your feet on the face of somebody else, bro. It's one of those records. That's the best way I can describe it. So that's that's my
that
tame
th-
nonsense
that
list right there.
that sounds like that belongs on some nonsense. Yes,
A
that
hundred percent.
description.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir, man. Good list, man. Yo, I am looking forward to the next episode, brother. For those who are our listeners, man, a couple things we need y'all to do. One, subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm sure you might have noticed this too, Earl. This is while we this is a smaller podcast as far as fan base, there are people who are still in our topics
A
and
hundred
still in our
percent.
talking points.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there are platforms that go to the smaller ones and take what they can take.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of the game. It just is what it is. But we need y'all to subscribe, man, to grow this channel so that we can even make our presence more pronounced. So make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you listen in audio platform, Spotify, Apple, make sure that you are giving us a 5-star ratings on there as well. And make sure y'all share and spread the word. Follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, at Rap and Reason. And we got a book coming out soon, man. Make sure that you
Yes.
all are pre-ordering our upcoming release that will be through the Bloomsbury Publishing imprint, specifically Bloomsbury Academic. Make sure that y'all are pre-ordering that. Drops in May. It is a different type of book, man. You're not gonna regret it. If you're a hip hop fan, if you're a music fan, or if you really just care about social issues and what's going on in the world and society, this is a book that you're gonna enjoy.
100%, man. I second that to the 10th degree. Until next time, my guy,
Yes, sir. But episode 70, we out.
we out.